Hello everyone, Gebatron here. Thanks again to Sam for the fun little intro. So this is the Held at Loose Commander Role Guide to Assets. And what I mean by assets is the things that the different roles can physically place on the map and the mechanics behind it all. This commander one is pretty short as there is only one thing they can place, and that is garrisons. Of course, I'm not counting the things that can be placed via commander orders. Those require their own video. Let's go. You are not able to become a commander by clicking create a unit. You have to click on the plus sign next to the role name in order to take the role and spawn in. The only asset the commander is able to physically put on the map is a garrison. Garrisons are spawn points that the entire team can spawn on. This differs from the outpost, or OP, which squad leaders are able to place, but the commander cannot. OPs are squad spawns, while garrisons are team spawns. Note that squad leaders are also able to place garrisons. Placing garrisons requires supplies, which can be provided by either a support player, a supply drop by air, or via a supply truck. Here we are in friendly territory next to supplies. To build our garrison, or Garry, we will need to use our mouse wheel to scroll to our watch. You can also click the appropriate number on your keyboard, in this case the number 5 key. Once our watch is out, we will be able to use the Q or E keys to change the Garry's orientation, which can be useful in tight or narrow spots. Notice how it says 0 of 8 per team. This means there is an 8 garrison limit per team. Hold the left mouse button to place your garrison. Note here that those building sounds and the radio sounds are both audible to the enemy. Also note that it now says 1 out of 8 garrisons. We have used 50 of our available 100 supplies, leaving us with 50 supplies. Garrisons in friendly territory require 50 supplies to build. It does not matter if it is locked or unlocked friendly territory. All friendly territory garrisons require 50 supplies. Garrisons alert you if the enemy is within 50 meters, and lock if the enemy is within 15 meters. So let me just go back and point out a cool little detail here. The time that is shown on your watch when placing a Garry is actually the real time where you are. As in, when I placed this garrison, it was 4:24 p.m. where I live. Pretty cool little detail. If there are not enough supplies in the area to build a Garry, it will say not enough supplies here, followed by how many supplies are there and how many you need. As of update 10, garrisons must be placed at least 200 meters apart from one another. If too close to another Garry, it will read too close to similar structure, followed by the distance. This distance has changed in the past and could change again, but I don't think that it will happen anytime soon. Here's a little tip. Each map grid square is 200 meters by 200 meters. Knowing this will help you estimate how far you need to be to place more garrisons. But for more detailed info, you can either ping a location or leave a mark. You can then hover over that mark with your mouse to get detailed info on distance from your current location. Speaking of distance, you must be within 50 meters of supplies in order to use them. An easy way to figure this out in-game is to hit the T key to bring up the heads-up display, or HUD, and if you can see the supply mark, then you can build. So here we build our 8th Garry. If we try to build another one, it will tell us team limit reached, followed by the limit number. In order to place another Garry, we will have to dismantle one somewhere else. The commander can do this in one of two ways. They can do it remotely via the commander order called Dismantle Garrison, or they can dismantle one manually by approaching it and holding the F key. It's important to point out here that the commander is able to dismantle any friendly garrison on the map, whether it was placed by them or not, while squad leaders are only able to dismantle friendly garrisons they placed. I.e., only able squad leader can dismantle the garrisons able squad leader placed, and not the garrisons that Baker's squad leader placed. This makes the CO much more versatile in regards to managing garrisons. Let's move on to what are often referred to as red zone garrisons or offensive garrisons, which are Garrys that are placed in enemy territory. Garrisons placed in enemy territory require 100 supplies to build versus the 50 they require in friendly territory. They also become locked when an enemy is within 100 meters of them versus the 15 for a friendly territory garrison. So while offensive garrisons still count to your overall garrison limit, they do have slightly different rules. And lastly, what happens when trying to put a Garry in locked enemy territory? Here we are in grid G9. The ammo dump is locked. If we try to place one, it will tell us cannot place in locked enemy territory. We have 100 supplies here, and even if we remove a Garry, we still cannot place one in locked enemy territory. And just for reference, here is what each faction's garrison looks like. So there it is. Feel free to ask any questions in the comments and I'll be happy to answer. Make sure to check the description for useful links. There's a PayPal link there to help support the channel directly. Please use that Green Man Gaming link to purchase Hell Let Loose or any other of your video games, and check out that wonderful Hell Let Loose community at Game Punch via the links down there as well. Thank you so much for watching and see you in the next one.